For today, Mark Johnson. Yesterday, Mark Johnson.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I am not the man that I used to be. Wow. Yesterday, Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcomed guests, there are two things that I know. One, that I am not Paul McCartney. And two, that yesterday is something we all share in common. It transcends race, religion, ethnicity, and gender. Many of us refuse to let go of yesterday because of something that someone said or did that caused us pain, or something someone said or did that made us happy. I remember yesterday. Last year, my father died of cancer. And as I sat at his bedside in the hospice for 3 weeks, I reminisced about yesterday. My father is my hero. He was a police officer and a radiologist. He was a firm yet compassionate man. He was the disciplinarian in our home. I'll never forget one day, Dad returned home from work. And when he entered into the house, he bellowed like a drill sergeant, "Mark Johnson, where are you, son?" And I was in the back room, my legs started to buckle like a scarecrow on the Wizard of Oz. And I pulled myself together and I clenched my fist and I said, "God, please don't let me get another whipping." Because I was a mischievous child. So I pulled myself together and I walked into the living room and I stood in front of him like a limp Beetle Bailey. And that firm drill sergeant face then softened. And he said, "Son, tomorrow we're going fishing." My eyes got bigger than the stars at night because we love to fish. I immediately collected the fishing tackle. I went into the kitchen. I made the bologna and cheese sandwiches. I packaged the potato chips and the cookies. I then went into my bedroom, put on my bibbed overalls, and I jumped in bed. I didn't even brush my teeth because I was so excited. I looked up at the ceiling, rocking back and forth as though I was waiting for Santa Claus himself to come down the chimney. And right before I fell asleep, Dad said, "Son, it's time to go." I jumped up out of the bed, put everything in the car, and we drove to the lake. It was still dark when we arrived. Dad and I would sit side by side on the bank, waiting for dawn to break. And when dawn arrived, we would watch the surface of the lake, capturing her beauty that resembled a glass pane, and the mist swirling on top of the lake like angels dancing. We then shattered the silence by casting our lines into the water, sending the ripples cascading across the lake like a mini tsunami. That was a good yesterday. But then we have yesterdays that are bad, we would love to let go of. I am 51 years old, and it was only 2 years ago that I was able to resolve one of my bad yesterdays. My father didn't even know it before he died, and my mother only found out 2 years ago. As a child, I was sexually molested. And it wasn't until I was reintroduced to my friend, forgiveness, that taught me that forgiveness was not just for the person that offended me, but that forgiveness was also for me. And once I understood that, I was able to break the shackles of yesterday and step into my destiny of today. I understood that in order for me to have a purpose-driven life, I cannot be shackled to the pains of yesterday. My personal purpose statement is to inspire, impact, and empower those in the space that I occupy. I work for the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Prisons in Coleman, Florida. And every day I step into that institution, I am there to inspire, impact, and empower not only the inmates, but also the staff. Within 2 years of being released from the pain of yesterday, I've published a book. I've increased my presence in the Boys and Girls Club. I've increased my presence in junior achievement. I've increased my presence in alternative schools. I've increased my presence wherever I can go to be impactful. I have come to recognize that in order for me to live a life of purpose, that I cannot stay stuck in the pain of yesterday. What is your personal purpose statement? Each of us have a personal purpose statement we should have. Each of us should be impacting someone in the space that we occupy. Someone is waiting for you to step to them and share something that will help release them from the bondage that has them chained. Yesterday, Madam Contest Chair.